Alright, here we go. Week 4. I think the game to watch is going to be Eagles 49ers. Um, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I think the Eagles can be one of the best teams in the NFC if they stay healthy. That was obviously their Achilles heel last year, specifically at the wide receiver position. So I think if they stay healthy, they definitely, can beat a team like the 49ers. And the 49ers are really fun to watch. And I think it'll be a really good game. So here we go. Starting off, Pats, Chiefs. It has to be the Chiefs, right? Patriots, even with Brady, have struggled against the Chiefs. And Andy Reid. So I think just with this, with the amount of turnover in New England, plus this game being in KC, I think that'll lead to a Chiefs victory. Bills, Raiders. I got the Bills. I really love the Bills. I really love what they did this offseason, getting Stephon Diggs, getting another weapon for Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen could be very good this year. And the Raiders, I think the Raiders will take a couple weeks to sort out kind of their wide receiver position. I think that's the biggest position in question. Like Henry Ruggs, I think he would have benefited from a preseason just because he's a rookie to get, familiar with the way Derek Carr plays, stuff like that. So I think the Bills will come away victorious in this game. So Broncos, Jets, I got the Broncos winning this one. I think the Broncos offense is very talented and underrated. Noah Fant, Courtland Sutton, Tim Patrick, Drew Lock, Philip Lindsay, Royce Freeman. I think all those guys can make for a pretty good offense. And then they also have, some of the best pass rushers in the league, and Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. So I think the Broncos will come away with the win here. Next up, Seahawks, Dolphins. I got the Seahawks. I really like the Seahawks this year. I think the Dolphins are still in that rebuilding stage. I think once they get their quarterback position figured out, then they might be able to kind of excel more. But I think they'll definitely struggle with the Seahawks and their defense. Bucks, Chargers. I got the Bucks. Tom Brady has been pretty good against the Chargers historically, and I think that once again the offense is going to be too much for the Chargers defense, and I think the Bucks are going to come away with the win. Okay, football team versus Ravens. It's a no-brainer. I think it has to be the Ravens. I think they're the most complete team in the NFL, and I think you could argue the Washington team is the most incomplete team in the NFL. So I think you just put those two together, and Ravens are going to come away with the win there. All right, Steelers, Titans. I got the Titans. I think Derrick Henry will be able to run over the Steelers defense, and I think the Titans will be able to get up early and kind of hold the lead. That's definitely one of the Titans' strengths, and something they should try to do, every game. So I think they're going to beat the Steelers. And then for Browns, Cowboys, I got the Cowboys. I think that's in Dallas. I think the Browns' offense is pretty good, but I think the defense still has some question marks. So I think that the Cowboys will be able to take advantage of that, specifically Zeke. I think he'll have a pretty good game. So I think the Cowboys will win in a pretty close one. Bengals, Jaguars. I got the Bengals. I think the Jaguars really aren't a very good team, and I think the Bengals are a little underrated. I like Zach Taylor. I like Joe Burrow. I like Tyler Boyd. I like Joe Mixon. I like AJ Green. So I think they have a lot of skill and potential on offense. And they were in some close games last year. And they obviously get AJ Green back. They get Joe Burrow. So I think they'll be a very improved team this year, record-wise. Vikings, Texans. I got the Vikings. I say this essentially when I talk about every Texans game, but I think DeAndre Hopkins is just going to be very hard to replace. We'll see what happens with David Johnson. I think he's kind of a key to their success. But I think the Vikings are going to come away with the win. I think Dalvin Cook will have a good game. I think Kirk Cousins will have a pretty good game. So So yeah, I think the Vikings will be able to beat Deshaun Watson and company. Colts Bears. I got the Bears. I think the Bears will start out of the gate pretty good this year, and I think they're gonna. I think they match up well against the Colts. They have the corners to stop guys like T.Y. Hilton or Michael Pittman, but then also the run D to stop the Colts rushing game, which I think is going to be really good. So yeah, I think the Bears will come away with the win this year, this game, and this time. All right, Eagles 49ers. Surprisingly enough, I got the Eagles. I think the Eagles, once again, kind of like the Bears and Colts, I think the Eagles match up well against the 49ers. I think they have the people on the defensive side of the ball to stop the run. And I think they can limit Jimmy G enough so that he won't, go off. And as far as Eagles go on offense, I think Miles Sanders will be able to run. I think Carson Wentz with Zach Ertz, Jalen Reagor, those type of guys, I think he'll have a pretty good game. So yeah, I see the Eagles winning this one and a little bit of an upset. Giants, Rams. I got the Rams. I think the Rams just have more talent. I think, that'll end up leading them to victory, specifically on the offensive side of the ball. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. Despite losing Brandon Cooks, they're still, one of the top receiving dual threats in the NFL, I think. So I think they're going to be too much for James Bradbury and the Giants secondary. Cardinals, Panthers. I have the Panthers winning this one. I think McCaffrey obviously will have a good game. I think Robbie Anderson, who is, in my opinion, a really key add. He is more of a deep threat. Teddy Bridgewater, I wouldn't necessarily consider him kind of a deep thrower, but he definitely adds a little bit to that offense, a piece of that offense that can really help. And I think Carolina will come to play against Arizona in this game. Falcons, Packers. I actually have the Falcons. I think the Falcons, it'll be kind of a shootout. I think the Falcons offense will be able to put up 30 plus points, as will the Packers, honestly, in this game. I can see maybe a 35-32 or something like that, 35-31, something like that type game, and kind of back and forth, because these two teams' offense are pretty good. Starts with the quarterback position, really, Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, and then you got Devontae Adams, Julio Jones, and yeah. So I think that I definitely think that this will be a very good game. If I was to pick a second game to watch, this would probably be it. But anyways, this Saints-Lions, I got the Saints winning this one. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think the Saints are just a better team, better all-around team, offensively, defensively, and on special teams. So I think they're just better than the Lions. So that rounds out my predictions for Week 4. But now we'll go into so after every 4 weeks I'll do a standings update. So here it is. So AFC organized by divisions. AFC East, Bills. I have them starting out 4-0. I really like the Bills this year, so I think they're gonna have a good year, and obviously you can't have a good year without a good start to the year, unless you're like the Chiefs a couple years ago when they were 0-4 and then won 12 straight or whatever. But anyways, and then Pats 2-2. I think they'll struggle out of the gate, as they probably should, losing Tom Brady. And then Dolphins 1-3. I think they'll be in a lot of close games, but I think they'll struggle. Jets 0-4. I don't know if they have very many winnable games the first 4 weeks. I think they can sneak a couple wins in this year, but I just don't see too many of those happening in the first 4 weeks. AFC West, I got Chiefs 3-1, and then it's pretty much they're already 2 games ahead of the pack through Week 4. I think the Raiders will definitely kind of like bounce back, but I think they'll start off a little slow. Same with the Broncos. They have a really hard first 4 games, so I think they'll struggle out of the gate, but I think they'll be able to, get back up there by the end of the year. Chargers also 1-3. I think just starts with the QB, right? They don't really. I think Tyrod Taylor's a fine QB, but he hasn't really started for a while. So we'll see. AFC North, Ravens 4-0. Like I said, I think they're the most complete team in the NFL, and I think they'll be able to win their first four. Steelers 3-1. I really like the Steelers this year. I think they're going to bounce back. That defense shown signs of being all-time great. At the end of last year, and I think with Big Ben coming back, their offense will be revitalized. So I think they'll start off 3-1. Browns 2-2, as well as the Bengals. I think these are two teams who will improve upon last year, but almost in different ways. So I think the Bengals will improve, and it'll show in their record. Browns I think will improve, but I don't know if it'll show in their record, because I think the Browns were 8-8 last year. Not don't quote me on that. Maybe 7-9, but anyways. All right, AFC South. I got the Titans and the Colts tied atop at 3-1. I think this will be. I feel like the AFC South always just kind of a dogfight. Who can get 9-7, maybe 10-6. And I think it'll be the same this year. So I think that'll be definitely kind of I think it'll be a two-team race too. I think the Texans will struggle, as well as the Jaguars. So I think that'll be definitely a race to watch throughout the year. And then, Texans, Jaguars, I think they're going to struggle this year. All right, Eagles I have 4-0. So that makes 3 4-0 teams. I think they can. They have the pieces, I think, to be a very good team, and I think they'll do that in the first couple weeks of the season. Cowboys 3-1. I think they're very talented. They'll compete with the Eagles, kind of like the AFC South. It's always a race in the NFC East, usually between the Eagles and Cowboys. I think that'll be the case this year too. Giants 0-4. I think Giants will kind of like some other teams like the Broncos or something. They kind of have a hard first 4 games. I think they'll lose a lot of close games over the course of the first month of the season, but I think they'll definitely improve over the last 12 weeks. Washington 0-4 as well. If you just look at their roster, you're like, where are the points going to come from? Where are the takeaways going to come from on defense? So that's why I have them at 0-4. 49ers and Seahawks both 3-1. I think they're probably 2 of the top, probably 5 teams in the NFC, and they just happen to be in the same division. I think that'll be an amazing race to watch as the season progresses, and I think they start off both knotted at 3-1. Cardinals 2-2. I think the Cardinals are going to be pretty good this year. Cliff Kingsbury second year, Kyler Murray second year. Brought in DeAndre Hopkins. They have Christian Kirk as well, Larry Fitz, Kenyon Drake. So I think they'll be good. I think they'll start off 2-2 and definitely it'll be a fun season. It'll be fun to watch the Cardinals, I think. Rams at 1-3. I think the Rams lost some key pieces. They'll struggle to replace those. But eventually I think they'll find their footing. NFC North, maybe the most surprising of my predictions. Bears at 3-1. I think the Bears do have somewhat of an easy first 4 games. I don't think they'll keep this pace up, right? So 3-1 pace is 12-4. I don't think I hate to spoil it, but I don't have the Bears going 12-4. But I think they start off hot, mainly due to the teams they're playing. But yeah, I can see them starting off 3-1. Vikings as well 3-1. I think they'll rely on the running game a lot more. As long as Dalvin Cook stays healthy, I think they'll be very good. So yeah, Packers 2-2. I think they have a couple tough games. I think I had them losing to the Vikings in week 1 and the Falcons in week 4. Just 2 teams who maybe aren't the best matchups for them, but I think the Packers will be fine. Lions 1-3. I think they still need a couple of years to get that defense set. I think their offense is fine. We'll see how the running game turns out with Kerryon Johnson, DeAndre Swift. Will it be a running back by committee? Will one take more carries or touches, I guess I should say, than the other. Um, I don't know, but I think they need another year specifically to get that defense figured out. NFC South, one of the best divisions in football. I would put it probably the second best division in football, maybe behind NFC West, but I don't know. I could see you putting them one as well. AFC North is pretty good. Anyways, so Saints and Bucks, I think, tied at top 3-1. I think the Bucks will be riding the high of Tom Brady, and I think the Saints will just be, just grind out 3 wins like they normally do. I think that's the Saints are versatile, right? They can win in a lot of different ways. It can be a shootout, but it doesn't have to be, because their defense is quite good and can step up. So yeah, Falcons 2-2. I think their defense is just going to hold them back. Their offense, I think, is definitely playoff worthy. I just don't know about their defense. Panthers, I think the Panthers have a lot of question marks. I don't know what to expect from Teddy Bridgewater. Yes, he played well for the Saints last year, but I think it could be different. I think that obviously their offense isn't as skilled as the Saints, but I think just when you look at the wide receiver position, right? I guess DJ Moore is the Michael Thomas, but I don't know. So, anyways, we'll see. Those are my predictions. First 4 weeks. Stay tuned. I have first episode of bold predictions for every team coming out later today. So I'll do division by division. First up will be AFC East. So